Welcome to this video on the Bangsamoro Investment Roadmap 2026 to 2035. We will explore how a data-driven SWOT analysis and systems mapping approach is used to foster a resilient and ethical economic ecosystem in the region. This strategic capabilities matrix goes beyond traditional SWOT analysis. By applying mathematical models, we quantify our internal strengths and deficits against external opportunities and threats to determine the best path forward. We use a quantified ecosystem diagnostic to map systemic resilience against vulnerability. By measuring impacts and likelihoods, we can identify which assets need to be leveraged to outpace structural risks before they disrupt our growth. Our paradigm is simple. Static assessments reveal what is happening now, but systems mapping reveals why those conditions persist and how we can effectively change them through synchronized orchestration. We are shifting away from siloed planning, which treats variables in isolation. Instead, we are using nonlinear systems thinking to understand how different economic sectors interact over time to create a truly synchronized ecosystem. The language of systems is built on feedback loops. Reinforcing loops amplify our growth and create virtuous cycles, while balancing loops act as stabilizers that help us navigate constraints and natural ceilings. This diagram illustrates the structural dynamics of the Bangsamoro investment ecosystem. It shows how raw materials, manufacturing, infrastructure, and capital are all interconnected and ultimately governed by moral operating systems. At the core of this system is moral governance. It serves as the ultimate stabilizer, moderating rapid financial expansion to prevent the formation of speculative bubbles and ensuring that our natural resources remain sustainable. Moral governance also plays a critical role in de-risking capital. By increasing institutional transparency and reducing bureaucratic friction, we create a more stable environment that boosts investor confidence and long-term regional revenue. It is essential to avoid the fixes-that-fail trap. Providing financial incentives without building the necessary institutional capacity, like fast halal certification, can lead to stranded capital and eventual investor flight. Instead, growth must compound through synchronized investment and governance cycles. By linking business development with the enhancement of public resources, we create a more sustainable model for success. To catalyze this feedback loop, we are front-loading investments into key infrastructure and halal certification. This creates a value-add shock that helps our virtuous cycle of employment and income growth spin much faster. The iceberg model reminds us that surface events, such as a surge in investment approvals, are merely the tip of the iceberg. To achieve lasting success, we must address the deep structures and mental models that drive these patterns. To prevent the fixes-that-fail trap, our roadmap pairs investment incentives with specific capacity milestones. This approach ensures that institutional growth is a prerequisite for incentives, building a stronger foundation for the future. Finally, we recognize that unchecked growth will eventually hit hard limits. By proactively addressing infrastructure bottlenecks and security investment tensions, we can avoid the pitfalls that often stall economic development. Let's look at the diagnostic matrix. These 8 system archetypes help us identify recurring patterns that constrain our growth, allowing us to build more targeted and effective interventions. The limits to growth and growth in underinvestment archetypes highlight critical risks. Rapid scaling often hits resource ceilings, such as infrastructure bottlenecks or skill shortages, unless we prioritize capacity building early on. Governance traps like fixes that fail and shifting the burden show us the danger of relying on short-term relief. Instead, we must prioritize fundamental systemic reforms to ensure long-term stability and capacity. Instability traps like the big man syndrome or escalation can severely undermine our investment ecosystem. By addressing power concentration and zero-sum competition, we protect the overall development environment. Resource and equity traps, such as the tragedy of the commons and success to the successful, remind us that sustainable management and regional equity are essential to prevent the depletion of shared resources. We address these through 4 levels of intervention, ranging from transformative goals like provincial equity to incremental changes in physical capacity, such as the Zamboanga-Basilan Interconnection Project. Our strategy uses high leverage points. For instance, pairing incentives with institutional milestones helps avoid failed fixes, while empowering local stewardship prevents the tragedy of the commons. Moral governance remains the essential operating system for our economic ecosystem. It effectively manages relationships, ensures accountability, and creates the foundation for lasting regional development. Our core strategic levers involve front-loading vital infrastructure and ensuring all incentives are strictly paired with capacity building. This dual focus is key to transforming our economic landscape. By understanding these systemic patterns, we are better equipped to navigate challenges and build an inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous Bangsamoro for everyone. Thank you for joining this exploration of our systemic roadmap. Together, we can foster a resilient and ethical investment ecosystem for the future.